Welcome to Embracing Arlington Arts Talks, a weekly interview show featuring different artists, theater personnel, dancers, musicians, and art stakeholders, and everyone in between who join us to have a conversation about their profession, productions, openings, and much, much more. I'm Carlos Velazquez, your host for Embracing Arlington Arts Talks. If you want to stay in the know about the DC region's arts and culture scene, then you will not want to miss one episode of our show. Please follow us on any of your favorite podcast platforms, or if you prefer, you can go online. All our episodes are on our website at www.embracing-arlington-arts.org. Before introducing our guest for today's show, I want to acknowledge the generous support of the Fred Schneider Investment Group and Fred Schneider Gallery of Art. This real estate investment and development firm has been building beautiful and thriving communities in the DC area since 1940. The company has always been committed to creating a place that attracts new opportunities and limitless possibilities. Its subsidiary, the Fred Schneider Gallery of Art, showcases the work of local artists to the community. Driven by the important cultural role that the arts community contributes to the quality of our lives, the gallery is a creative space where artists and those who love art can come together. For more information, visit the Fred Schneider Gallery of Art.com. I now have the pleasure of introducing some remarkably talented people from J.A.M, the Revue, who are all involved with a show that can't be missed, Boo, a Halloween Jam. I have Jerry McShan, who is the director, Bree Buker, Kinny Jones-Miles, and Damien Suttles, who are all part of an incredible company. Jeremy, how are you doing?
I am amazing. I'm super excited to be here to talk about our upcoming show.
Excellent, excellent. And Bree, how are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks so much for having us today. We're so excited to be able to promote our amazing company and all of the amazing work that we're doing.
All right, so I know our listeners can't see you, and I don't want to be judgmental, but you look young to me, and I'm guessing you're probably one of the younger members of the company?
I am, yes.
Okay, but age in terms of appearance doesn't mean anything because you probably have been dancing a long time.
Yeah, I've been thrown on the point shoes for a little bit now. So I started dancing from a young age. My mom's favorite story to tell is that when I was really young, I wanted to go take a ballet class, and unfortunately, those who were still in diapers were not allowed to take the class. So 2 weeks later, I was prepared, I was on the stage, and I don't think I've ever hopped off since.
So you were potty trained at a young age.
I, miraculous, I know.
Wow, I'm impressed. I'm very
Overachiever
impressed.
from a young age. What can I say?
That's a good thing. That's a good thing, especially with Jeremy. That's a good thing, right, Jeremy?
Always a great thing. Yes, always a
Yes.
great thing for to have that talent.
Excellent. Kenny, how long have you been affiliated with Jam?
So far I'm going on a couple years. This will be my fourth show, first time Halloween show. I'm
Oh,
definitely excited for this spooktacular moment.
excellent. Oh, I like that play on the words. Excellent. So you are a relatively new company member, Kenny. You've done four shows, but this is a very special show for you, right?
My very first Halloween, so I'm very excited.
Excellent. And so is there a particular number that you're looking forward to being a part of for this show?
Oh, absolutely. And it just so happens to be by the miraculous, loving, fun, very much Miss MJ.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Did you happen to catch the show,
I
MJ?
did. I was able to catch it twice, one in New York and while they were on tour here in DC.
Wow, wow, wow. Now, I don't know if you got to see the gentleman who won the Tony for Best Musical Performer. He's a local talent, and I understand he was brilliant.
He was absolutely brilliant. That's what made me go for a second time. I'm like, this show was amazing.
And you're a fan of MJ, I'm guessing.
I am absolutely a fan of MJ.
Excellent,
So I'm
excellent.
very excited to be doing one of his numbers.
What number are you doing?
Bad.
Oh,
Yeah, so I got to bring the bad boy out.
wow. Oh, that's going to be excellent, excellent. Well, I have to tell you, Kenny, that I don't want you to hate me, but I'm not the biggest Michael Jackson fan. although I think Thriller is a historically significant video. Nonetheless, I was in Chicago and one of my colleagues and dear friends wanted to see a show. So I thought, I think he will like MJ. I was right. He loved it. But so did I. I was incredibly impressed by the production. The costumes, the dancing, all of it was excellent. My feet did not stop moving the entire time. And I'm sure when our listeners watch you perform, Kinny, you will be just as magical on stage. Damien, how about you? How long have you been affiliated with J.A.M?
I've been with J.A.M since 2022.
Okay. So, what brought you there, and what's your story? How did you discover your talents?
Um, I've been dancing since I was a little kid. Um, my mom has stories about when I was born, like I just came out dancing pretty much. So dance has always been a part of my life. Um, yeah, and it's just followed me up to this point in my life.
Wonderful, wonderful. And is there a particular number that you're looking forward to in the production?
Oh, there's so many. Um, I would say Disturbia. It's a nice, uh, cool number that I think the audience would like.
Excellent, excellent. Well, something that I've noted, Jeremy, when I saw one of your shows, the diversity of the cast of the production company. You have a little bit of everything in terms of age, in terms of ethnicity, in terms of talent. Is that something you're very conscious of, Jeremy?
Yeah, definitely very conscious of it. I started the company 12 years ago now, because me as a Black artist, just having, a hard time finding consistent work and having large lapses of time in between gigs and opportunities. So, I wanted a platform for me to be able to do things, but also I was just like, I can't be the only person that also is having this, dilemma as well too. So it became a place for artists regardless of, though it's a primarily Black cast, but regardless of your race, regardless of your age, regardless of, your size, people with just this immense talent to be able to come together and share. So, we have diversity in age. I think we go from the youngest is early 20s to the oldest, they're in their early 50s. We go to in a variety of size, race, all things there to make this amazing show.
That is excellent. Well, I did notice that about your company the last time I saw one of your productions, and I was so thoroughly impressed. Not only learning from my previous interview with your company members about the years of experience some of your dancers have, but also in terms of the skill sets they bring to your company. And I think that makes a huge difference. And diversity is something that we need to celebrate and embrace, and you do an excellent job of doing that. You also have diversity in terms of the number of years that some of your company members have been dancing. Bree shared with us that she's been dancing since she was a little girl, right out of diapers. And how did you discover Bree? Because she is one of your younger members.
Yeah, so I met Bree maybe a couple of years ago now when I was choreographing the prom for the Arlington Players, and she came to the audition. And so while that opportunity did not work out, I loved her so much that I reached out to her when I was casting for a J.A.M, and I was like, "Hey, I love you, and I would love for you to be in my show." And so that's how I met her. So it just shows you the power of auditioning and that when you go into audition, it's still a great platform to network and meet people and build connection because you just never know where your opportunity may come from.
Exactly. And Bree, if I remember correctly, in terms of diversity of background too, because I think there's even someone that used to be a cheerleader, right? The NFL?
Oh yeah, I think one of my absolute favorite things and just even getting to dance with our cast and getting to know them as humans on the side of it is really just the wide variety of individuals that we have, whether it comes in the way that you've trained. I'm much more of like a classically ballet jazz trained dancer where we have a lot of people who studied more hip hop in their training. We have people that have very little professional experience up into have danced professionally on the stage doing cruise shows and dancing at Disney and NFL cheerleaders. And so being able to learn from all those different facets of the professional dance community is so amazing.
That's so cool. About you, Kinny, in terms of your training and your exposure at an early age to your talents, did you have a lot of mentoring or are you a mentor?
So, funny enough, I've never had any actual training.
What?
I am a pure, just natural talent, not to brag on myself. I actually
Wow.
taught myself at the age of 14 how to sing
Mm.
by mimicking other singers as like Whitney and Beyonce and all of the greats. Um, Mainly because one day I was in my room and my mom was like, "Shut up, you sound horrible." And I'm like, "I'm gonna show you, mom." And I blossomed into this.
Whoa. That is a great story. I have talked to dancers, actors, singers, even visual artists, painters who have never been trained formally. And when you see them on stage, like, how in the world is that talent just naturally there? But it happens. Some people are just born that way, which is really, really cool. Jeremy, you got to tell me about the lineup. What particular songs are you looking forward to seeing staged, and what artists are we going to be hearing?
So since it's a Halloween show, our show is putting together your favorite songs and honoring some of your favorite Halloween movies from across the years. So of course we have a little Rocky Horror with some time warp there. We have some little Shop of Horrors in there. We also have, your classic Frankenstein and Mummy characters, and then we also will and Kenny's number, which is a fun number. That closes one of our acts that you see a lot of familiar faces from some of your favorite movies of all time that come up in Bad. So if you're thinking Bad, you can only imagine which people you may see on the stage. So it's really a uh, fun show that really pays homage to all different facets of Halloween, from your slasher movies in a fun but and funny way, to your classic Halloween, to like a fun contemporary Halloween moments as well too. So it's definitely a fun show for the entire family.
So, Jeremy, besides the usual suspects of numbers from MJ and Rocky Horror Picture Show, what other artists might listeners be enjoying?
And of course, we have Gloria Gaynor with "I Will Survive." I know, right?
Oh,
That's such a classic song that spans all generations. Everyone knows that song, and everyone gets so excited when they hear that song. And especially with Halloween, "I Will Survive." And so it's a fun number. I love that song, and I think when it comes in the show, it'll be a great treat for the audience.
that's so cool. Quick story, one of my friends, his aunt is Gloria Gaynor. So he would say to me that every year she would have a Christmas party, and Aunt Glow, as he would refer to her, would have all these amazing, talented artists at her house singing Christmas carols around the piano. And I asked him one time if there was any one celebrity of all the people he met over many years that just made him go gaga and he literally just froze in his feet. And he said yes. In fact, he did meet one artist, and that is Whitney Houston. And he just couldn't believe that he was seeing her in person and that there was a magical glow, to use his aunt's name, about her. But to be able to say that he sang Christmas carols around a piano with Whitney Houston is an incredible memory to have. I have to be very honest. Halloween is my favorite holiday of the year, and I am looking forward to this year in particular. And I do feel bad that I won't be able to see your production, Jeremy, but I will be in Mexico at the celebration of Dia de los Muertos, and I will also be going to the second largest arts festival in Latin America. So back to back festivities celebrating Dia de los Muertos and a big arts festival. But in Mexico City in particular, that celebration is amazing. They have a huge zombie parade, and they build altares, which are the altars, because they celebrate life, not necessarily focusing too much on the death component of the holiday. So it will be a great celebration for me. And I'm sure every one of our listeners who goes to see your shows will be celebrating your music and life itself, I suppose, right? So quickly, Jeremy, when is the show happening and how can people get tickets?
Yes, our show is happening October 17th through the 19th. We have a Friday and a Saturday show at 8 o'clock and a Sunday show at 5 o'clock. And tickets are available online at jamhalloween.eventbrite.com.
And if I remember correctly, the venue has free parking, which is very rare.
Yes, very rare, free ample parking at that. So not just free parking, free ample parking, which is a rarity in our area.
Excellent. And where can people follow your company? What particular platforms?
Yes, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all at J.A.M the Revue. Revue spelled Revue. But we're on all those platforms. Follow us, and we'll follow you back. We love to create our family that is online and keep our excitement going from beyond the stage to online as well too.
Excellent. Bree, how about you? Where can people follow you?
Yeah, feel free to follow me on Instagram at Brianna Buker.
Excellent. Kenny?
You can also follow me on Instagram at creole.model.
Ooh, I like that. Damien, how about you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Damien Faith Driven, and at J.A.M the Revue.
Excellent. We'll find you there. We'll find video content because I know Jared knows how to do great social media content. I look forward to it. It's been a pleasure talking to all of you. I look forward to hearing and seeing all the comments online about your production. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
This is Carlos Velazquez, your host for Embracing Arlington Arts Talks. Please follow us on any of your favorite podcast platforms. Join us next week when we will be talking to another artist and arts enthusiast. So until next week, keep